The following program is a Nighthawk Network presentation.
What's going on, y'all? E-Buck in the building. Y'all know what time it is. It's Wednesday. It's time for that show we call the Guru Sports Session. As always, y'all, we cannot do Guru Sports Session without that dude right there with the shiny bald head and a nice background. That would be Hugh Lee. What's going on, Hugh?
What's going on, E-Man?
What's going on, man? You all right?
Yeah, good as I could be at the moment, man.
Yeah, we both lying. We ain't all right, but we about to be because we about to do one of them things that make our week feel better. Let's talk sports with y'all. So without further ado, we're going to get into it. Hugh, get it cracking.
All right, the NFL has approved extensive contingency plan. Basically, what they're saying is they're nervous. They don't know if we're going to have the regular referees, so they're going to probably get replacement refs. The talks as far as their new negotiations is not going so well. So they already have that in mind saying, well, if things don't go the way we needed to go with these refs, we're going to get our replacement refs. And like we was talking about just recently, what I like about the whole ordeal is, which they should have been doing this with the NFL refs in general, is they're going to focus more heavy on New York now, meaning that whenever something goes wrong, if it's like a helmet, like a face mask, or a horse collar or anything that can goes on. And I think that it goes on from anything like roughing the passer, intentional grounding, horse collars, illegal contact, pass interference, or disqualification. They will get that information now from New York, and New York will basically dictate what they'll need to do on the field, which we always thought that should have been the case, because sometimes if it's a catch and it wasn't, or if it was a catch and they say it wasn't a catch, New York, but like, well, yeah, it was truly a catch. So they'd be like, well, why can't you ain't go down and say something? And they're like, well, at the time they didn't have the legal right to do so as far as the game, which I believe they still could have. They just wasn't trying to control the momentum of the game, which definitely didn't help the whole situation. But now, I just want to know what are your thoughts, man? Because I feel like this should have been done way before the UFL or anybody else thought about it, that they should be able to go in and dictate if it's the right call or if they can overturn a call, because baseball been doing it for a while now. So what makes the NFL, take too long or figuring out that this replacement refs, this is the thing that we feel like the right thing to do right now? Because
all right, we talking two separate things. Let's deal with the first thing first. Yes, they need to have the skybox ref that has been used in the USFL and the UFL for the last 3-4 years. We know it works. It's time to embrace the modern technology. You're embracing it with the drones and everything else. It only makes sense. The second issue we're talking about is the actual referees and whether or not they're going to be on the field this season or they'll have replacement refs. Okay. We got to dig a little deeper into it, Hugh. What happens is the refs are asking for a raise, a very reasonable raise, I might add. They want a 10% raise. Think about it, Hugh. Basic person A in this country makes $9 an hour, okay? 10% raise will be extra 90 cents, all right? Let's just say the refs make $100,000. I think they make around that much, actually. 10% raise is $10,000. Okay, it's about what, 300 refs maybe? All right. All that being said, it don't matter. You know why? The NFL make money hand over fist, okay? Every owner in the NFL is a billionaire, multi-billionaire in most cases. Even the grouping of owners usually are consistent of billionaires. First of all. Second of all, the latest television deal for the NFL is what, like, I want to say 80, 90 billion dollars, something like that there.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's not counting all of the other sponsors of the NFL. That's billions more dollars. That's not counting the fact that places like FanDuel and Sportsbook and all that is involved, getting millions and billions of dollars from them as well. NFL, stop being cheap. 10% raise, y'all got that. Ain't nobody gonna miss no money. Worst case scenario, what you have all the teams sell their tickets for extra $1 to compensate? Or you ask in the next TV deal, okay, we're gonna need another extra couple millions, so we make sure the refs are straight. I mean, either way it goes, they can find that money. It's stupid. Why is we here? I mean, because in the end, we know the referee's still gonna mess up. We still gonna have issues with it. The thing is, you put in a replacement refs. We seen how that worked. We tried that before. It was way worse. You cannot afford way worse. Okay, pay them people. Period.
To make you appreciate what we have too, because at the same time, you got to think about if the people upstairs or the people in the power who can dictate and overturn these calls, if they're there the whole time, why wasn't they executing and trying to use them in the first place? If we can't, because a lot of it is because we feel like in regular time the refs probably messed up because we seeing it in a slow mo. But they could have stopped that too a long time ago, man. But then it's not even really about that right now. It's about paying them what they're due, man. And they're not asking for like 2 or 3 extra million. They just asking what they feel like is fair. And if that's fair to them, man, they should just hurry up.
Honestly, that ain't fair. I think give them a 20% raise and they still be all right.
I definitely feel like that's the case.
Remember,
man.
You were the ones who wanted the refs to not have to work a regular job. Remember, once upon a time, all referees, they only worked the NFL season, then they had to go back to their regular job.
Yeah.
It was like that for the players early on in the NFL. But nonetheless, NFL making so much money now, they ain't got to do that for nobody. Everybody can get paid, and they will be all right.
Yeah, it happened, man. We'll talk about that later.
Mm-hmm.
These bastards. NFL Hard Knocks, man. They have the people who's going to be in it this year are the reigning Super Bowl champion and the New England Patriots, man. Is that interesting to you? Because I feel like for one reason it's interesting is because remember when Coach Bill Belichick was at New England, that was going to never happen. But now you have Mike Vrabel, man, and then you have this team, and then you have the defending Super Bowl champs, man. I think it's going to be interesting, but because most times the teams who be in the Hard Knocks is teams on the come up, and you got the Super Bowl champ and the runner up in this one. So yeah, I think that's going to be interesting. What are your thoughts on the Hard Knock and what they do?
Do you think either one of those teams is going to win the Super Bowl this year?
I believe that they'll make the playoffs. Super Bowl, I think that, man. I don't think it's going to be no repeat.
Don't need it. Don't need it. Don't care. Don't need it. Ain't watched Hard Knocks, like I said, since the Lions was in it. And honestly, the only reason why I watched Hard Knocks that year, because the Lions was in it. I learned a few things, but not enough to make me care enough to watch the whole season of it. Don't care. Don't need it. Don't want it. We can move on.
Yeah, because the Lions ain't going nowhere no time soon.
The Lions should make the playoffs. That's about it.
I'd be surprised with that, honestly.
We'll argue that when the time comes. All right.
Chicago Bulls waived Jaden Ivey, man, for some of the comments he made, the LGBTQ comments. And I believe that a lot of people looking at him like he's a really bad guy now, and they've been really sticking a knife in his back. When I looked online, man, remember I was just on social media for like maybe 3 or 4 minutes, man, and I seen all types of nasty stuff about him. My favorite one was Poison Ivy, though. But I want to know your thoughts on what was going on with him, man. And do you really think this brother is really doing or just the public enemy number one right now?
I'm about to have a semi-unpopular opinion on this subject. You're going to have to give me a couple minutes to break it down, okay? Do I have those couple minutes?
Please do.
All right, here's what it is, y'all. Remember, Jaden Ivey is about 22 years old, if that. First of all, think about what your mindset and thought processes was about the world as you knew it at 22. And for most of you giving him hell that are many years older, think about what you thought the world was at 22 as opposed to what you thought of it now. Okay? I would safely say at 22, some of my views of homosexuality would be viewed as homophobic then. But keep in mind, then was 1989, 1990. Now it's 2026. It's a whole new world. If this view was his view in 1990, he'd still be with the Bulls right now, okay? He might get booed a little bit, but he would still be there, all right? Because it's 2026 and we view things differently, that is part of why we are here. Also, this is a social media event. He made it so by going on social media and having these opinions. Keep in mind, if you actually go and listen to his whole spiel, it is not a rant, okay? This is not somebody crashing out. This is a thought out frame of mind that he is explaining to the audience, okay? Is it the right frame of mind to be in? I think it depends on what your thought processes are. If you consider yourself a devout Christian of faith, deeply into your Bible learnings and teachings, I imagine that a lot of what he said, you wouldn't have had no problem with at all, and may in fact agree with. If you are a person who is of faith, but believe people are people and they should be treated as such, then yeah, you probably do have some problem with how it was stated. I consider myself a Christian person that believes in the Bible and whatnot, but I also know that same Bible that he's talking about also has a passage that says, "Judge not, yet ye be judged." And in your comments, Jay and Ivy, you are judging a particular group of individuals, and thusly people are judging you for your judgment. That is why we are here. Okay. Do I feel he should have been basically excommunicated for the league based on his opinions? No, because I promise you, he is not the only person in the NBA that has that opinion. He is, however, the only person that was not smart enough to keep that opinion to himself. Okay, I will say it's not smart enough. Not that it was dumb, just not smart enough. In an ideal world, you got to remember how your bread is getting buttered. Okay, you had to know if you were going to go this route, there would be repercussions. Perhaps not as strong as you are getting right now, but you had to know it was going to be a problem. Now, here's the thing that's not being discussed enough about young Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey has a past that people are not familiar with. They only know the here and now. They don't listen to what went on in this brother's past. At one point in time, this brother was on a podcast. I have to find that for y'all. If I can, I will post it in the comments, where he discussed his upbringing. And he basically revealed to the audience that he was a troubled youth, that he was molested as a child, that he felt unloved and uncared for because of the things that went on in his past. Then he had the injury. And keep in mind, at the time he was told, the injury was kind of a 50-50, where that, okay, you should get it together, but it may take you a lot longer because you messed up bad. And it may be you may not be the same. And based on his play, it looked like he's not the same. Remember, he was a slasher, a jumper, and what have you. So because of that, and not being able to do that so much at the moment, it has affected his game. If that brother was balling out, let's just say if he was playing like Wembanyama right now and made these comments, yeah, he would have got booed and whatnot. But guess what? Will he still be playing? You know the answer to that, you.
Absolutely.
Because he is basic person A in the NBA and said what he said, that's where our problem lies. Now, again, are these my personal opinions? No. Some of my very best friends on planet Earth are people of the alphabet community. Thank you, my brother Big Meech, for giving us that respectful term to call it. But when all is said and done, it's a problem for the league. That is why they would rather make the problem just go away as opposed to dealing with it. Because in having Pride Month and Pride Night and whatnot, it is their way of being all-inclusive. Because remember, in the end, it's supposed to be about the fans, but truthfully, it's about the
money that they're making off of it.
About the LGBTQ plus A community. They spend their bread. They are consumers. They have money. You don't want to turn that money away with bad opinions of what they live their lifestyle as, okay? Because in the end, should not matter. You can still be a basketball fan and still be part of the alphabet community. I don't see that to be wrong. I don't see anybody that should have a problem with that. Jaden Ivey, at some point in order to get back in the league, may have to go on an apology tour like no other. But in the ideal world, if that brother truly believes what he believes to that fullest extent, you got to stand on it, bruh. And you got to deal with whatever circumstances come after the fact. So, yeah, before y'all just take this kid and read him for filth, kind of learn his story a little bit, then make a determination. But also remember, in doing so, just like he's being judgmental to that community, you being judgmental to him. That's what I got.
Okay. Definitely can't be mad at that. Yeah, I definitely appreciate that because a lot of people didn't know about his upbringing or possibly haven't heard anything about it. And to hear it now and to understand what he's feeling and what he's possibly thinking and what he went through, yeah, man, you got to really understand it from that point of view too, man. Because everybody was just throwing him under the bus, man, saying he was crazy, he lost his mind. That kid went through a few things, man, and that's why he felt that way.
Here's the whole story, people, and I also will have to wonder how this opinion and everything that's being said is going to affect his mother, who was, of course, the head coach of Notre Dame. I know at some point she will be asked about it, and I'm wondering what her thoughts will be on that when that happens.
Especially after all that stuff went on under her roof, possibly, too, So, yeah, that's pretty interesting.
It did.
All right, E, man. I want to talk about something else too, man. This is going to be pretty quick, or you can break it down, or how we can do whatever how you want to. The top 4 candidates so far, which is funny to me because when they was talking about some of the top 4 candidates for MVP in the NBA, none of them was on the East Coast, man. And I want to know your opinions on this. The top 4 MVP candidates was Victor Wembanyama, Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. What are your thoughts on that?
The reason why they're all on the West Coast is they're the 4 best players in the league. 2, the 65-game rule is in full effect. And 3, most importantly, when you look at it, it ain't really 4. It's truthfully just 2. 1, not Luka Doncic, okay? He's scoring like a mug, okay? You should not just win the MVP because you score like a mug. We done had that. But even in that, remember, when we had the Michael Jordans of the world winning MVPs, it wasn't because he was scoring like a mug. He was also one of the better defenders in the league. True MVP is valuable to his team in all aspects. So if you look at it from that standpoint, it's only one MVP right now. And no disrespect to Cade Cunningham or Jaylen Brown or anybody else in the East, it's only 2 people fit that bill. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who will be second in my book, and the winner, Wembanyama. He is the best 2-way player in the league right now, period.
I believe people cut out Joker, too, because to be honest with you, no disrespect to the Nuggets, man, because but when you have star power like Jamal Murray, that definitely don't help you. But at the same time, outside of those 2, it's like nobody else really produced like they should, man. And that's been my biggest issue with them. Yes, they got a better bench and they got better bench play. But you see, if Jamal Murray have a bad game and even if Nikola Jokic have a good game, they could possibly still win. But if Nikola Jokic having a bad game and, Jamal Murray has like a mediocre game, it's still, you have a chance. But I just look at it now and I just feel like with that team, man, yeah, they're a good team. But look at the actual run that Victor Wembanyama has made with this team, man. And guys, you name an all-star besides De'Aaron Fox on that team and Victor. Now you got your Stephen, what's his name? Stephon Castle,
Yes.
Devin Castle. Man, you can start naming guys because of the fact what was that other guy's name? Chad Penny, man. There's guys on that team who just are good role players, man, who step up and play the game the right way. Remind me of the old school 90s Spurs. I love to see them play. And just the OKC and what they bring to the game right now, man. They're a threat any day. So yeah, man. No disrespect to Nikola Jokic, because he always in that conversation of what he's been doing has been incredible. But I still feel like now those are the top 2 and the best 2 teams in the league. That's my opinion.
Victor Wembanyama is your MVP, period.
Let's let the votes get out, E. But Iowa State women's basketball team. We headed over now to the NCAA part of things. Yeah, man, you already heard the news, man. They have 8 women that went in the transfer portal, man, and it's not really too good. Most of them are like forwards and guards, and then you have a center. But you have Abby Brown, Jada Williams, Reese Beatty, Freya Jensen, Lily Tulalele, Ali Tank, Regan Wilson, and Allison Williams. Do you think at least half of those women will come back to the team if they lose the coach?
No.
And why is that? Explain yourself.
Absolutely. Okay, look, people. Those names he names was every starter on that team except for one. The obvious one, Audie Crooks. Now, understand, if Audie Crooks announces today she's in the transfer portal, that coach is fired tomorrow, okay? He's done. The only reason he is still there at the moment is because he is one of the top 10 winningest coaches in NCAA basketball right now. That being said, at 60 plus years of age, it appears based on how they played this season, particularly in games with top 25 or quad one teams, as they like to call it now, they didn't play so well. It appears that his style of play is not advantageous for today's women's college basketball. Because of that, he should do the right thing and step down. They should give him a little compensatory package. Thank you for all your years of service, and they need to move on. Now, the only way I see them having a team where half of those ladies come back is they'll have to get a big name. A big name, Hugh. Remember, this Iowa State. How big a name could they get at Iowa State? Seriously. They don't have the resources that most of the big teams have to pay somebody of that caliber.
Everybody to stay at least, neither.
Not to mention, this is the time of NIL. It's good players on that team. And guess what? Most of them players, they saw the Ducats said, I know I could get better money somewhere else. Remember, some of those players you named, they would not only be starters on a new team, they would probably be the go-to person on that team and make a nice little coin as well. I think about the fact that Iowa State is close to conferences like the Missouri Valley Conference, close to Conference USA, close to the MAC Conference. Teams that may not have buku money, but to get one of those kids to come be they person, they would pay them a nice amount of change to do that. So am I mad that didn't went on that way? No. Bottom line is I'm kind of looking at Audie like, I understand you close to the crib. It's 1 year. You can get paid somewhere else, and you could get way more money than your homegirls is. What you waiting on?
Do you think loyalty is a big issue with her right now? Do you think it wouldn't even matter once the money's right?
It shouldn't matter if the money right, but in the same token, like I said, I think it's the fact that she is close to home. She chose Iowa State for a reason because it was close to home. But in the same token, you ain't gonna be close to home at the next year. You're gonna be in the WNBA. You might as well learn the lifestyle now. There are teams out there that will pay you a nice coin to go there and be the lady and probably get you some better help defensively in the process.
Okay, I understand. We're going to talk about the men's Elite Eight results and your thoughts about it.
Run
number
them.
9.
Run them.
Okay, the number 9, Iowa versus number 3, Illinois.
Illinois was the better team. They won. Plain and simple. They are the biggest team left in the tournament in terms of overall size for their school. That definitely came into play in that game. There's a couple people on that Illinois squad that will be definitely first round draft picks, and they played like that. That being said, they got as far as I see them getting.
I definitely liked my man's Katie Weigler, what he brings to the game as a rookie. And I do like Andrej Stojakovic. I had to apologize to that brother. Yeah, he had a banged up ankle, but now that he's been healthy, you can definitely see the difference. But I like the Braden Smith kid from Iowa. No, actually, I'm saying the wrong team right now. I definitely apologize for that.
You talking about that Purdue kid. I know.
Yeah. But yeah, speaking of, let's get to that game. But of course, that final score was 71-59. But yeah, that's the game I was looking at right now. The Purdue and Arizona, man. And Arizona reminds me a lot of Michigan because of their size and their athleticism. That game was actually pretty close until it wasn't. And that's what I meant to say, man. Braden Smith, man, he usually plays better, man, but he still played with a big heart. But a lot of the shots wasn't falling in that game, man. And therefore, I just felt like Arizona had the better talent and a better team, man. Because if the shots was falling, we'd probably be talking something totally different, but they didn't. And their time was up. So Purdue's out of it. And then now, it's Arizona State going to the Final Four.
It's Arizona going to the Final Four, not Arizona State.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Okay, Arizona is a very solid team. They run about 9-10 deep. They got at least 4 or 5 players that will be in the league. It's hard to deny them at this point against any team. Understand, they were so good that they had LeBron James' son on the squad, and they chose not to even play him. They redshirted that brother.
The right reasons too.
The rest of that team is.
And at the same time, you got to look at it too. Most of those guys are juniors and seniors, so that's why I think that played a lot to do with it, man. But yeah, unfortunately, Iowa State was.
You can't feel bad for Bryce James. He still got paid more NIL money than his teammates,
and he'll be back with that team. So it doesn't. And then that's a really
if he chooses to.
Yep. Number 6 Tennessee versus number 1 Michigan, and usually me, I don't really count people out, but what Barkley said, what he said was funny to me. Like, man, y'all just we need to get ready for that football season. I said, I don't know. Let's see the way the game played out. But then in that third quarter, that's when I was like, yeah, man, they need to sit these guys out. Kind of was surprised Dusty waited till the last minute, though, because then that's when things start to get chippy. But it still didn't matter because you had the third stringers in there handling business. But yeah, man, I want to know your thoughts of that game, if there are any.
Dusty May let his son play. He ain't played in none of the other games. That's just how bad Tennessee was. Dusty May only on Michigan squad because he his son. Period.
Bottom line. And the UConn versus Duke game, I was talking to you about that yesterday, man. I was telling you how one of the announcers already had Duke in the Final Four, and that's when the other announcer, I forgot who it was. I got to find that information so I can send it to you too. He was like, man, I can't wait to see what Duke do in the Final Four. And then that guy had to tell him, oh, wait a minute, man, they still got to play UConn. And he was like, yeah, I know, and UConn's a good team. And he tried to backpedal his words, and then the unthinkable happened. Duke was up by 19 points, man, and it looked in that second half that it was just about over. And I told you, hey, man, there's still a lot of time left, and they only down 7. Then that 7 went to 3, and then they got to the point where they was barely hanging on. They had a 2-point lead. It was 70-72, and then everybody thought it was possibly over if they can inbound the pass. And when Caden Bouger messed up that pass and it was a deflected pass, it was a 3-point bucket that won the game for the UConn men team. And I just was really surprised, man, because I wasn't expecting them to even make it that close, but to win it the way they did. And it wasn't like it was a give me shot. It was like a logo, almost damn near NBA 3 with maybe a few seconds on the clock to win that game, man. Out of all the games this year, as far as the March Madness, was that possibly one of the best games you've seen so far?
It was the best game I saw so far. Think about it. That team was down 15 at the half. They got down as many as 19. 3 reasons we should be paying attention. 1, Coach Danny Hurley, not Bobby, Danny Hurley, willed that team to win, okay? He coached them up. He hyped them up. He made the right moves. He did what he needed to do to get them to the victory. Okay. 2, who won the championship last year, Hugh?
The men's?
Yes.
Florida.
Who won the 2 championships before that? I'll answer that for you. UConn. Because of that, we know that some of those players are still on that team. And you know where I'm going with this. The famous Rudy Tomjanovich said it years ago. Never underestimate the heart of a champion, okay? Duke made that mistake, all right? They did not come thinking, okay, not only are we Duke, but we also need to show people that we here and we for real. They came in thinking, we Duke. We'll show up. Oh, we winning at halftime. Yeah, we got this in the bag. Let's start making our plans for Phoenix or whatever. That's where you messed up at, okay? You should have learned from Duke Toombs in the recent past, okay? Think about how many Duke players are currently in the league, Hugh, and think about how many of them ain't won jack. Not only in the league, but not in college either. The Zions and RJ Barretts and the here we can go further down than that. A lot of Duke players, a lot of them did not win it. Okay, last time Duke won the championship was a nice little while ago. All right. Don't just assume because you got that D on your chest, you automatically winning that board. That's where they messed up at. And then, of course, there was that final play. It was multiple mistakes made. In the end, you was up 1. Catch the ball. Hold the ball. Get fouled. Let it make it happen the way it happens, okay? First person caught the ball. Did he keep the ball? No. He passed it to the second person. Second person. Did he keep the ball? No. He tried to pass to the third person on the other side as opposed to the person that was on the side of him. That was the better free throw shooter. Messed up. Then, okay, they got the ball back. Did it occur to anybody to foul somebody before they get the shot off? I'd rather have done that and took my chances at the free throw line than give them that open 3 for them to win the game. You foul them, that's 2. You foul them while they shooting, that's 3. So as soon as they caught it, there wasn't enough thought process going on. That's why they ended up the way they ended up. Give UConn credit for having the heart to make it that far and the patience to do what they need to do to make it happen.
Yeah, that was incredible, man. But then, you know, man, I understand you saying foul on that shot, man, but he was out so deep, man. They wouldn't pay no attention to that. Probably could care less, but that was one of the better shooters on UConn team, too. So that was a huge mistake, man, because it wasn't like it just went in, man. It was like you could hear the nest from the microphone on top of it.
I mean, bottom line, we should have never got there. You up 19 in the second half, you're not supposed to lose.
But that's a shaky team anyway. You remember what we was talking about with Siena, man. If they would have had at least a couple more people off the bench who can execute, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
It's and butts was candy and nuts. You know what I'm saying? Long story short was I didn't pick Duke to win it all, but the majority of the country did. So
as you didn't. I did think you thought that Duke was going to win it all at first.
You know who I picked to win it all.
Oh, yeah, UConn. Yeah, you wanted UConn to repeat.
I actually picked Michigan to win it all, sir. Michigan.
I didn't pick Michigan.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
But again, a third of the country did. So a lot of those brackets, they broken, but it's still quite a few people got Michigan or Arizona for that matter winning it all. So there's that.
All right, we're going to get to the women's now, man. Number 6, Notre Dame versus UConn, man. What was your thoughts on that game? Because I definitely like what you said at the end. That made me feel a little confident.
Give credit where credit is due. Hannah Hidalgo is a beast, okay? If you get her 3 or 4 more inches, she probably would be the player of the year without doubt. She still might be it without it. She wheeled her team every way possible to try to win that game, but in the end, she was alone, okay? She got hers. The rest of them did not. That's why they lost, because keep in mind, UConn did not play their best game. 2 of their better players, they just played all right. Credit one Blanca Quinones, Ecuador's own. She made that game what it was. The freshman who's not really a freshman because she's been playing with grown women since she was 15 years up. That is why UConn is here. But long story short, if UConn plays that way in the Final Four, Well, let's say that. Let's not go there yet. Anyway, yeah, I'm surprised that UConn did not take that game more seriously early on. I'm not surprised they won, nor am I surprised that Notre Dame lost.
All right. Well, we're going to go to number 2, Michigan versus number 1, Texas.
They had no business being there. Texas wiped the draws with them, okay? That game was not a game. Texas was not playing with nobody. They ran into the same problems they ran into all year when they ain't scoring right. The difference is with most games, they found a few points and end up staying close to it and even winning a lot of those games. With Texas, they wasn't fooling with them like that. It was easy money.
Too much Madison Booker, man. And I just feel like, too, in that game, they kind of gave up after that first half, man. Like, it was clearly over.
They gave up from the giddy up. There in the first half, they went in that game, and you could see in the first 5 minutes they was not going to win. They did not believe.
Number 3, Duke versus number 1, UCLA. That was a game that at first was pretty close, man. I feel like they willed their way to win, but that game was a little bit more closer than comfort, and they started to pull away a little bit at the end. But that game was a little better than what I thought that it was going to be.
That Duke team had the mentality that the men's team should have had. They went in there knowing that if they put up a good fight, they had a shot at it. They played like they could have won. They was not intimidated by UCLA at all. It's just UCLA had a little bit better talent than them. So as a result, they couldn't pull it out. But give Coach Lawson some credit. She had them girls ready to play. They just didn't have what it took to make it happen.
Yeah, and it's crazy too, man. Even though they lost this round, it was cool to see that they persevered, man, because I definitely thought LSU was going to take them, man. And that last-minute shot that took Duke to, this part of the Elite Eight, man, and just the way Lawson willed those girls, man. Like you said, they had a little bit more heart in them and will to win versus I just think, like you said, with the Duke men feel like because we are Duke, we could just go through the motions and win. So, yeah, that was definitely the difference maker.
Yes, the Lady Blue Devils took on the mentality of their head coach. If you know anything about Lawson and her career in the WNBA or in college over there at Tennessee, she was always a gritty player. So I'm not surprised at all.
All right, number 3, TCU versus number 1, South Carolina.
Again, another butt whooping of epic proportions. Credit Olivia Miles. She tried to do what she could do. She got a little banged up in that game. The rest of her teammates, they didn't offer enough to help out. South Carolina got too many weapons. They were just outdone, overmanned, outclassed, outdefended. It wasn't happening.
Because remember, I told you that the Sylvia chick, the 6'7" chick on the team, man, she's real goofy. And Suarez, she don't got I don't think she got good footwork, man. She played real sloppy to be as big as she is.
I did not see her in the W. If so, she probably won't make the squad.
And then, like you said, man, Olivia Miles was pretty good. She played well. I just feel like, unfortunately, when she got banged up, I just feel like she looked at it like, man, I'm not trying to put my career at risk. She sat out and the rest of the game so, she could get to the next level because she will be one of the top 3 picks going into the WNBA.
It's a business decision. I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, I think that's smart for her too, man. I definitely wasn't mad at that. Anything else you wanted to add on to it, man? Now that
are we doing any previews for the Final Four here? Are we doing our picks for the Final Four?
You want to do the picks? Yeah, we can go into it.
Absolutely.
We're gonna do it on both sides then too.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's get into the women's first.
All right.
You have South Carolina versus UConn. They play at 7:00 on ESPN.
Who you got, Hugh?
Oh, that's South Carolina.
Why, Hugh?
Because they South Carolina, and that's my home girl, over there doing steady. But at the same time, though, I feel like it's going to be a good game, really good advertised game. But I just feel like right now, Duke's playing. I said Duke. UConn's playing good. But like you said, if they just play all right, that ain't gonna be enough for Dawn Staley because she want revenge, man. She didn't like the way they went out last time. So
they want revenge.
She's going to be fully motivated this game.
But see, I basically did a little bit more digging. Remember, yes, UConn did beat that butt last year in the championship game, and they wanted to revenge that. But remember, the one and only time a couple years ago where the UConn ladies went to the final and lost was against what team? South Carolina. So in the end, that was kind of their revenge on that. So they kind of won up at this point. Now, the question of the day is, what UConn team are we getting? That defense will show up. The defense always shows up. That's why they undefeated. Will the offense show up with them? Bottom line is, all year, Gino has been trying to get AZ to play more fearless and for Sarah Strong to shoot the ball more. If he gets that from both of them, South Carolina is not winning, sir. And you know it, and I know it. If them two play their full potential, it's a wrap, sir.
I don't know a damn thing.
Loyal to a fault. I ain't mad at you. That makes you a good friend. It makes you a bad analyst right here. If UConn plays their game, it's going to be another butt whooping. That being said, I give it a 75-25. Bottom line is, if UConn is down by double digits at the half, they will not win. If they're up by double digits at the half, they will win. It's as simple as that.
I don't see nobody being up double digits, especially in that game.
It shouldn't be.
Not in the first half.
It should be a close game.
It'd be crazy work.
Long story short is, beware of the others when we talking UConn. Because even if them two just play like they have been playing, it's still some of the others that ain't really jumped off yet, okay? You get Blanca and that kid Zabel hit about 9-10 threes, it's a wrap.
If you feel that way. We're going to move on, and we're going over to the Texas versus UCLA.
There's the rub. Now, that game over there might go one or either way. This one here, this kind of a pick 'em almost, okay? These are two very, very even teams, all right? Texas, UCLA, both capable of playing good defense. Both got a lot of juniors and seniors on the squad.
All right, over there.
So ain't neither one of them going to be intimidated of each other. They both got bigs. They both got shooters. They both got people that can handle the rock. It's going to be a damn good game. I'm looking forward to it. I've been kind of back and forth as to who I think might win. Based on what I saw this weekend, I'm going to get a slight edge to Texas. Because in the end, I feel like they can get Betts in some type of foul trouble. They got enough to handle the rest of them. Meanwhile, Texas got better bigs overall. So I feel like if you get one of them in foul trouble, they still got people they could plug in to deal with it. Plus, I think they will have some trouble with Maddie. They really don't have nobody on that squad that could check Madison Booker one-on-one. They're going to have to throw different people at her. And if Madison have her Maddie mid-game type game, it's not going to happen for them. So, yeah, I got Texas by about 4.
I got Texas by 10.
Oh, my.
We're going to move over to the men, and we got...
No. Wait a minute. 2 games, sir. 2 games. So, basically, you got South Carolina and Texas. Who you going with?
I'm going to go with Texas. I know
right.
you got a dumbfounded look on your face right now, man.
Not really.
I just feel like Texas can beat all the teams in this Final Four right now, as far as the way they playing, if they play the way they play. But you still had a hiccups with Texas that concerns me because, they could play and they could be a real good team. And then, they can just come out there and play well, but then not up to their expectations. That's the only issue I have with them.
If UConn again plays to their full potential, they will give it Texas all they can stand. It will be a close game either way. If UConn play like they played Notre Dame, Texas is going to blow their doors off. And it's going to be a very disappointing season because at this point, you don't get all the way to the championship game undefeated and then get blew out by Texas. That is not going to be a good taste. I go on with UConn because that's my squad, period. On to the men.
Okay. Michigan and Arizona.
Another great matchup in play there. Okay, because they are in Phoenix, Arizona. You know that means it's going to be a large Arizona contingent in the house. Okay, that's going to make. Oh no, wait, rewind. Wrong. Women in Phoenix, men in Indianapolis. Reverse what I just said. It's going to be a large Michigan contingency in Indianapolis. Advantage Wolverines. Arizona got probably the better 5 starters. Michigan probably got the better bench. I'm going with Michigan. I'm not overly sure about it. It's like 60-40 in my mind. I expect it to be a close game. I got us by 3 or 4 because I think our 3-point shooting will be a little bit better, and that's what gets them over.
When I look at it too, I feel like they had them as 1.5 point favorite. I'll get that to them too because of the fact, like you said, the advantage in Indiana, but it's still like really no advantage because Arizona's that good. If I had to give you a final score, I would say 80-83.
All righty. Second game.
You got a really good one with Illinois and UConn, man. But
No,
you do.
No, you don't. I got UConn.
I'm gonna go with Illinois. I'm gonna take them by 1.5. Just for
I
the
got
upside.
UConn by 5. They bigs is better than Illinois' bigs. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah.
Illinois wins if they shoot the ball unconsciously and just shoot threes and make them. If it's a straight up hard nosed battle, then yeah, UConn winning that. They battle tested now. They believe.
Yeah. Okay, that was my thoughts, man. I definitely feel like UConn can beat every team in here too, but I just feel like at this point, man, I'm just glad that they beat the hell out of each other in that last round. But yeah, man, that game could go any way though. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Illinois though, just because I want to be different.
All right, so then you got the rematch between Michigan and Illinois, and I got Michigan and UConn. I got Michigan winning that game. Same reason they'll win the Arizona game. It's gonna be tight. I think they just got a little bit better shooters.
I'm gonna go with Michigan in this one, man. You know, because what I'm looking at is not only just for the game's sake. I just feel like for what they have in store, man, the coaching and just how they prepare themselves, man, they remind me more of like an NBA team, you know, the way they play and how they got the big body players who already look like they're NBA ready. I don't want to take too much from any of the other teams because I still feel like any of them have a chance, but I just think that they're a little sharper right now and they're on a better pace.
All right. What else we talking here?
But that's whatever you want to talk about. Because I know they're in the East.
We'll take a quick commercial break and we'll be back.
Absolutely. So if you see I'm looking
From the heart of Detroit, a new sound takes flight. Hawk World Radio, powered by AI, made for your vibe. Local energy, global reach. Hawk World Radio Detroit, where the future of sound.
A new podcast is hitting the YouTube and Facebook streets called Speaking Freely with Miss Gigo. If you have listened to the audio version, you are going to like this one. Come join Miss Gigo every Sunday at 10 p.m. where she will be discussing different topics you can give your opinion on. This is your chance to be part of the conversation and share what's really on your mind. Speaking Freely with Miss Gigo, where your voice matters.
All right, guys, we are back in real time. We took a little break because we was watching the launch of the rocket going to the moon. Pretty sweet, y'all. Y'all should check it out later when you get time. Anyway, we are back to the show. We got one more topic of discussion today. What is it, Hugh?
Tiger Woods, y'all.
All right. Let me break it down. Okay, basically Tiger Woods had another car accident. Okay, he was charged with DUI, driving under the influence. They basically gave him a breathalyzer test, found no alcohol in the system, but said he was glassy-eyed and liberated. They basically looked back on the cameras and whatnot and saw that he was distracted on his phone and whatnot. Almost ran into this car. That's why the thing flipped over. He's had multiple car accidents over the years, we know. It has been determined that he is not going to be at the Masters. He's instead going to get treatment for whatever issue he has right now. What's your thoughts here?
What I'm looking at is, man, after this, man, because it's constant now. It just seems like that's who he is. If it's a drug test, that's the thing. It was an alcohol test. I bet you they would have came up with something if it was a drug test. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I just don't think he's right in the head right now, man. I don't really know what it is, man. You know, I think that after a lot of the issues with the wife and everything, you know, transpired, that he's definitely going through a little something, man. But I feel like it's him being selfish too, man. Because look, when we talked about one of the main things we gonna talk about when we mentioned Tiger Woods is his son is interested in golf now, man. So you know, you are the person who is his mentor, a person he looked up to train him to get to the next level, man. You know, you got to do better for him too as well, man. If not for yourself, do better for your kid.
I go back to a statement that one of his good buddies, Michael Jordan, made a few years ago. It's like, sometimes we play together and he asked me certain questions. Do you think I could make it back and what have you? And I had a hard time discussing it with him because how did I tell one of my best friends that you just ain't never going to be the same no more? And as great as you once was, you just not going to get that back. Because I'm Michael Jordan, and you know, I wake up thinking I still could do it. So that being said, good people, we got to start thinking about the future of golf beyond Tiger Woods. Because in the ideal world, because he's Tiger Woods and he is good friends with the golf community, and one of his staunch supporters is the current president, there is a space where he'll be back. But should he be, is the question. We can only wonder if he would have been the greatest of all time in terms of all the majors and whatnot if he had never got hurt like he did in the first place. You would think that that was a done deal. But in the same token, that back always was going to be a problem because of how hard he swung early on, and it affected him. I imagine every day that brother lives with a certain amount of pain. Not just physical pain, but mental pain, because it's just hard for him to get past it. And it's hard for us to let him get past it because we want to see him do it. The fans of us that are fans of Tiger Woods. But in the same token, Tiger Woods, the person, like you said, made some very selfish decisions. And we got to find a way to either forgive him or just be ready to move on. And that's all I got. I need you to tell people where to find.
You can catch me at Instagram Hoovy, WHOOVI, pardon me. And you can catch me at Sports Guru to You on Facebook, Hugh.Lee6 on TikTok. And if you want to hit me up and leave some comments, man, I would say the Sports Guru to You at gmail.com. But I've been pretty much more busy on, you know, my regular website, you know, my YouTube, just Hugh Lee. You know, you can hit me up on there as well, because I'm just been doing a few projects and trying to do stuff for the brands and, you know, do a few promos and just get a few things together for the shows. And I think that we've been working on that for the most part, but I think the most important part is for the people to interact with us, you know, and hit us up in them comments, man. And of course, we got some more to say too, because we'll be definitely back with the Two Unks Talking TV on Thursday, which would be tomorrow.
And at that point, I'll advertise me then. We have gone on long enough. Let's call this a show, y'all. We will catch y'all next week. Stay tuned for Rumble Time. That will be after the show this evening. Check out what Queen has to say about this week's events leading up to WrestleMania in a couple weeks. All right, y'all. Until next week, love y'all. Be safe. Have a good Easter and Good Friday as well. Remember, be blessed, don't stress. When all else fails, put your hands together to the man, let him deal with the rest, because it does work. Trust and believe. All right,
Yes, sir.
till next time, you know what to do. You go up the deuces. We up out, baby.